My name is Dr. Mike Bell, and thanks for looking in on YouTube. Today we're talking about youth and sports, but particularly very young children who participate in sports. Those of you who have heard me speak before know that I'm not in favor of children as young as 4, 5, and 6 years of age participating in organized team athletics. There are a couple of reasons why. First and foremost is time spent with family. Organized sports practices and games and so forth tend to really swallow up family time. The second thing is that children are not really ready to affiliate with groups outside of the family. Remember that the first time a child truly affiliates with a group or an individual outside of the family unit is when they first go to school, pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, first grade, and the child really feels as though they belong in that classroom, which is very highly structured, I might add, as opposed to some organized team sports that aren't particularly organized. The third point that I'd like to make is that children physically are not ready for the demands of traditional athletics. They don't have the physical coordination, the strength, the control of their body at the ages 4, 5, and 6 to really fully engage and participate and get the benefits of athletics. Now let's talk about the cognitive aspects of child development at ages 4, 5, and 6. As Piaget clearly stated, children are just beginning to create a symbol system at the end of the pre-operational stage. They're really not ready to organize or internalize those rules and specific activities associated with athletics. Children simply aren't cognitively ready to internalize the rules of games and sports. Also, children at ages 4, 5, and 6 are really on the wonderful verge of developing their creative imagination and fluid thinking. Sports tend to be structured. Sports have rules. Sports have very specific roles that children fulfill as they participate in sports. The soccer goalie is the only one that can pick up the ball. The right fielder patrols right field and right field only. Second baseman is supposed to throw it to first. These simple, very basic tenets of soccer or baseball simply are beyond the capabilities of children 4, 5, and 6 years of age, unless there's an adult, frankly, yelling at them to follow the specific rule or strategy. Let's talk about a child's social development during the ages 4, 5, and 6. First, children, when they have their own choice during free play, which is very rare these days, they typically select groups that are smaller than, say, 9 members of a baseball team, or 11 players on a soccer team, or 11 players on a pee-wee football team. It's simply that children are better equipped to handle smaller groups of 3, 4, and 5 children in an unstructured situation. Also, children used to select playmates, and perhaps those days are just gone, where children have the opportunity to free play and have the opportunity to choose whom they play with in this age of play dates and practices and organized sports. Now what I'd like to talk about is the child's emotional well-being at ages 4, 5, and 6. First and foremost, when we talk about team sports, there's very high levels of emotions and expectations. Children are still developing their own understanding of their personal emotions, much less the emotions of others. It's simply beyond their capacity. Parent and group expectations tend to be very high, and this could lead to feelings of inferiority, where children really don't feel good about themselves, don't feel as though they have accomplished anything, despite the fact they may have gotten a lot of verbal reinforcement. You see, with young children, it's the experience that counts and not necessarily the words that are offered by parents, words of comfort or assurance that things are going to be all right. Children focus on their actual experience, their personal experience. For them, feeling it, being there, participating, that's the believing part. And frankly, no matter how much parents try to comfort children, they really rely upon the experience as their basis of understanding the emotional situation. Team sports, as I said, are very highly charged, particularly on game day. And I really question the fact that 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, are they truly prepared to participate in these experiences? Now let's talk about the child's physical well-being. It has been well documented in years and years of research that the cardiovascular demands of organized team sports are not even close to the cardiovascular benefits and demands that are placed upon a child during free play. A 4, 5, and 6-year-old in a self-selected, self-directed, open, free play activity is far more likely to participate in a high level of cardiovascular activities, running, jumping, climbing. Whereas during team sports, the parents are so busy and the coaches are so occupied with having the children comply with the rules that it tends to freeze the child. Children on teams stand a great deal during practices, even during games. At 4, 5, and 6 years of age, children really haven't solidified their understanding of space and movement through that space. They may see an individual and they can certainly run to that individual, but for a coach to say, stand over here or stand over there, unless that coach points and moves to the point exactly where the child is supposed to be, it's beyond the child's capability and understanding. So when we talk about a child's physical well-being and physical capabilities of participating in sports, it's their understanding of space, their movement through space, the coordination of their upper and lower body, and also their ability to run in a particular direction and to change direction. So, you might ask yourself, when should a child participate in team sports? In my opinion, it's after the pre-operational stage, when the child has moved into concrete operations according to Piaget, around the ages of 7, 8, or 9. The child is ready at that time to be introduced to organized team sports. Cognitively, they can understand and internalize the rules. Socially, they're prepared to affiliate with a large group of people and also find friends within that group. It's kind of a matter of seeing the forest for the trees. They can now sort it out, find their friend, affiliate with a teammate. Outfielders hang out together. The kids who play defense on soccer hang out together. The goalie on the team stands alone, of course, but has friends and support. Also emotionally, the child at 7, 8, and 9 years of age better understands their own emotions, can control those emotions to a degree, and also understand about winning and losing. It's a much better time for a child to deal with their first small, guided taste of competition. And also, let's talk about the physical aspects of a 7, 8, and 9-year-old child. First off, they're much better at running. They're much better at changing direction while they run. They can now coordinate their upper body movement. They can catch a ball away from their body. They don't have to use their body to block the ball. They can now catch it in their hands. When a child participates in athletics at ages 4, 5, and 6, it's simply far too young for all of the reasons I've indicated in this video. When we talk about a child who's 7, 8, and 9 years of age, it's a different child entirely. Physically, socially, emotionally, and cognitively, they're now ready. They're outside of themselves. They can deal with the concrete world. They can understand the parameters of a playing field. They understand their bodies moving in space across a field. They now understand the roles and relationships of teammates, and they now have a better understanding of course, the whole notion of competition. When it comes to organized team sports, a child should be participating at 7, 8, or 9 years of age. Once the child is fully moved into concrete operations, a 4, 5, and 6-year-old child, the pre-operational child, according to Piaget, is not quite ready for organized team athletics. We hope that children, once they get to the point of 7, 8, 9 years of age, would participate in team sports under the guidance and support of coaches who are knowledgeable, parents who understand sports, who also understand the delicate nature of competition, and it will become a beneficial activity for these children. Well, that's all I have today about youth and sports. I hope you enjoyed looking in on YouTube, and I hope to see you again real soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Mike Bell.